will be going live again at 10 o'clock Pacific tonight. So hopefully to connect with some people a little bit further afield in Europe and maybe even Australia and New Zealand because they miss these lives. So today I'd like to touch on the subject of multidimensionalism and infinity, which is obviously an infinite subject matter, but there's certain things that I find interesting and I wanted to share with you today. So first of all, we're not just this physical being. We're a spiritual being in and around a physical vessel with a soul essence at the core of that. But we're not just one in the respect of an individual single person that we consider in the physical reality. There are all these multi-dimensional aspects of us. If you could see yourself as the light being that you are, with grids of light of different colours, and it's a bit like a radio station. So let's say you've tuned into 95 FM, at 95.5 FM, 95.6 FM, 95.6.5. All of these different bandwidths are different realities, different multi-dimensional aspects of us in different realities. So when people talk about things like quantum leaping, what they're referring to is you connecting on a vibrational level. If you're a 95 FM with maybe a 97 FM aspect of you on a multi-dimensional level that you're tuning into and focusing on being that in that reality space and having whatever you want, manifesting whatever you want in that frequency rather than the frequency that you're at now. And that's what focus of and visualization and raising your vibrational frequency is about, manifesting, law of attraction, and so on and so forth. So we've got all these multiple layers of ourselves. And over the years, I've heard people say, that's not affecting me in my reality, and that's not what I'm focusing on, and so on and so forth. And that's fine. But let's say that you're intent on ignoring certain negative aspects of reality and saying it's not in my reality. What if one of your multiple realities, your multi-dimensional realities, have got, out of the infinite number of them, 100 or 1,000 of those realities containing something you're trying to avoid in this reality? Those frequencies are still going to be having an effect as you evolve, because as you evolve, you're actually reactivating all these outer layers of your energy field, and you're the core, your soul is the core of all of these. And you get bigger and bigger and bigger. You light up, you walk into a room, people can feel your presence because they feel your aura before you even get there. All of these different levels contain some of those belief systems and the things that when you were at a lower frequency, you're going, no, that's not in my reality. But when you've leveled up a bit, something pops up linked to that in your reality, which is having an effect on your projected reality experience. So it's not wise to rule out things like that. It's not, you can't just get rid of everything by saying, that's not in my reality. It does have an effect in this reality when you say that, because you're in that reality space. But when you level up to the next level, there may be remnants of that old thing in the next level. So this is why healing, leveling up, is about maintenance. It's about continual growth and taking care of yourself. And this is where no mind meditation comes in, because when you're going into no mind meditation, you're bringing in that energy of creator, source, one, God, call it what you will, into your conscious awareness through your meditation, which is neutralizing stuff in your energy field. So now you know that you're multidimensional in that respect, and as you evolve, as you light up all of these different layers of your energy field, you may be bumping into something from the past. So be careful about that, because a lot of people think, well, I've dealt with that, and then it comes up again. And they're not realizing that it's coming up again because it's in an outer layer of their energy field as something from a multi-dimensional life, because as you evolve, you're becoming more and more aware and responsible for your multi-dimensional self. This includes your multi-dimensional shadow aspects. What they're up to, and we've all got them, is affecting your overall reality experience, because everything is one. We're all connected. So there's a lot of healing to be done in this lifetime. People have said to me, well, I've been doing this and I've been doing that, and you know, this is still happening. It's like, yeah, you've leveled up. There's another layer here to work on. We incarnated into a physical body in order to work through these layers, as many as possible in each lifetime. And what you don't do in this life, you'll come back and do in another lifetime. But as I've said before, we're in the middle of a very powerful upgrade on the sun cycle of 3 years, and we're nearly in the middle of that. And this is 60% historical change on the planet. So it's huge, huge time for us to make change. And the outside is a reflection of the inside. As within, so without. As above, so below. We've all heard these sayings. So let me take that a step further. Today's the 8-8 portal, and it's 24. So that's 2 4s are 8. So it's 888. That's 3 infinity symbols in today's planetary alignment. So it's been a big level up. Everything, when we've got these specific numbers linked to planetary alignments, things are amplified. So this is a really important time. It's not just today, to be leveling up for that reason, because the more you level up, the more amplified the whole world is going to become. But think about this. If reality was shaped like a donut, if that matrix is shaped like a donut with the energy coming in and going around like this, like a slinky, and within that is every possible outcome, which it pops in and out, there's no thing, and then there's manifestation. There's nothing and manifestation, nothing, manifestation. And this all comes from what we've got in our DNA, in our hearts, in our minds, in our consciousness, in our field, as a collective. So all of that feels like, when we talk about infinity, we think that it goes on and on and on and on and on, forwards or backwards. It's not like that. If you imagine a ring donut, and imagine the inside of that ring donut, all of the dough's been taken out of it, and you were an ant walking around the inside face, the inside skin of that donut. No matter what direction you went in, up, down, right, left, you would keep going and going and going and going and going. To you, it feels like you're walking forwards or backwards or sideways. But in actual fact, everything is moving around you. So we have the illusion of us moving, but what's really happening is we're the central core, and everything is moving around us in the direction that we choose to go. So the infinity side of that is every time reality collapses into manifestation, so the collapse comes from pure consciousness collapse into form, which is what we experience as our reality, our universe, our cosmos, and so on. Every time that happens, we have the opportunity for great change. So every time one of us changes what's in our hearts, what's in our minds, what's in our energy field, what we've inherited from our ancestors, and false beliefs and things like that, xenophobia, racism, sexism, fear of the opposite sex, all of this stuff goes back generations, and all of that's in our energy field. Every time we heal something like that, the more of us that do it, it affects the mass consciousness. So these multidimensional aspects of us don't just apply to us and our energy field, they're applying to multidimensional aspects of the universe. And every one of us is a key player in how that multidimensional aspect of the universe manifests into what we see as a physical reality, which in actual fact is a holographic simulation based on what we've got in our consciousness and what we've got in our DNA. That's what projects what we experience. So the infinity part of it is basically a field of consciousness that is malleable and keeps changing. Nothing, something, nothing, something, nothing, something. And every single thought, every word, every deed, Everything we heal, every time we meditate, affects that something. So we're collapsing to pure consciousness and manifesting constantly, so quickly that we think it's all solid. But that's not actually the case. So the consciousness that we've got within our DNA, within our body, within our cell memory, around in our auric field, in our energy field, all of this is software programming in the machine of the reality that we're experiencing. So just think about that for a minute. That's a massive amount of information. And every single one of us is an important aspect of that. Every single one of us is a tiny particle of what we know as God, One, the Supreme Being, the Creator, the Source, call it what you will. But every one of us is a tiny aspect of that Creator, having an individual experience and evolving. And what we're doing is we're actually growing God. We're growing One. We're creating constantly a new overall manifestation. And that's why I put together my Patreon channel, because we came there today. It's the 8-8 portal today, which is a powerful alignment of the planets. When those energies are coming in, we're grounding them in. Some people have been having problems with their health and emotional stuff going on. All of this is part of it. Whatever's within us that needs to be released from our system, these energies are trying to push them out. And that's what these alignments are about. So today my Patreon channel, and it was members only, but I think I've set it up where you can pay $5 to have the meditation. I opened the one portal in there, and we're clearing out big stuff for the highest good of all. It's a really powerful group that come together, and it's okay if you do it after the day. The intention, is set that it's for the 8-8 portal. And growing God, we are. God is evolving. It's not just us. We are a particle of God. We are a particle of One. We are a particle of Creator. And every time we level up, that levels up. I'm not going to say he, because I don't see it as a male or female. I see it as pure consciousness. So this is how important you are. Every single one of you is so important to the whole. So even if you sit down and just do 5 minutes meditation, just quietly ignoring your thoughts, just being in your heart and having good vibes about the world. Imagine the world without the corruption, without the racism, without the poverty, without the manipulation, the control, and all these other negative things that we've experienced. You can't ignore things away if they're there or they're brought to your attention, or you've got any opinion on, the leaders, and I use the word carefully. I want to be careful what I'm saying on here. That we are, the masses, have control if they wake up to that. If they wake up to the fact that the more of us that come together, the more of us that meditate on this brighter, beautiful world, and releasing the past into the one portal, and then we sit and meditate for 20 minutes together for the highest good of all. This is not about individual meditation, for me. This is about coming together as a group. And today I said we're like a beautiful beehive of, that glow, like fireflies, and we're coming together and we're making this beautiful star that is sending out a pulse for 20 minutes. And that's what we're doing together. We're pulsing that purity of our higher heart chakras out into our reality, and it's extremely powerful stuff. So if you haven't joined my Patreon channel, it's only $5 a month, and I do 2 healings on there and meditations a month at the moment, and you will notice a difference in it. People that are using it or have been working with me on social media for the last 4 or 5 years now are sending me messages. Things are changing in their reality. Things are changing. And we're making that change by healing ourselves. So healing isn't just about being sick or being ill or being depressed or being anxious. It's about switching off these old programs in our consciousness that we've inherited down our ancestral lineage, that we've inherited from our previous lifetimes. And we've all had them. We've all had this, we've all had ancestors, we've all been around the block, as they say, a few times, and there's a lot in our systems that needs to be healed. If you take a look at the world around you, are you seeing perfection? If you're seeing perfection, great. I'm pleased for you. You've done your work, and maybe you don't need to join our core. But maybe you want to bring that perfection into the core and be one of the bumblebees that are buzzing together and sending out that vibe. So I'd really like you to have a think about that. Consider joining us. It's a movement for the highest good of all. That's what it's for. And it's powerful. Today's was a very powerful one. So if you're feeling small at times, or you're feeling alone at times, and you get into your meditation, you realize that you're part of your Creator. You realize that you're connected to everything, and we're never really alone. The ego, the lower ego, feels loneliness because it's disconnected from the higher power. When you get that connection, that loneliness goes away. But there is another kind of loneliness, and I've experienced this a lot in the last few years, and that's when your consciousness has become very high and very expansive, and you're into that oneness, and you're there and finding the right vibe tribe to have higher level conversations with. This is something else that in the core on my Patreon channel, there's a community in there now. People can chat to one another, they can bounce off one another, and share their experiences with people that have got open minds. The more of us that raise ourselves up, the more of us that there are going to be out there in the world, because the outside will start to become the reflection of us. Oh, thank you, Patricia. And it's important that we do this, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean the animals, I mean the plants, I mean the planets, I mean everything. Everything is consciousness, and all of these things have essence, they have consciousness, they are sentient. It's proven now scientifically that even plants and trees are sentient, meaning that they can sense things, they can feel things, they feel the vibes, and they respond to those vibrations. And if you're noticing you're changing, maybe you're becoming more sensitive to your surroundings. You might notice that bright light affects you more now, or you might notice, like I have, that the trees and the grass look more effervescent, the flowers look more effervescent. When I go to the park, the flowers almost look neon to me now. This comes with a change in consciousness. But this shows you other people's energy fields as well. So you can start to see, sense and feel the people that are around you. And whether their vibrations are higher or lower makes a difference to you. They say that we resonate at the frequency of the 5 people, and I'll say the word beings because I think our cats and dogs and pets should be involved in this. We tend to resonate at the average frequency of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. And when I say people, I will include 1, my dog with that, 2, my higher self with that, 3, 1 with that, and then we've got a couple of really shiny friends that come in as well. So have a think about the 5 in your life. Do they lift you up? Do they drag you down? Because every single person around us is either lifting us up or dragging us down. There's no such thing as not moving. It doesn't exist. There's always movement. There's always flow. Even when we go into that stillness of no mind, our hearts are still beating. There's always some kind of movement. Always. So think about who you've got going on around you. Think about your life, and are you bringing that meditation and that quiet balance in for your spirit, because you are mind, body and spirit, and there's a severe lack of attention to spirit in the world. And spirit is your energy field, your immune system that protects you, protects your soul, essence, protects your body, feeds your body the energy it needs to be well, shiny and healthy. It's really important. I believe that, I don't believe, stop saying that, I know that if everyone on the planet who is suffering from depression and anxiety and a lot of other mental health problems were taught how to meditate a few times a day, that their health would improve 100%. It's the biggest problem we've got on the planet at the moment, is the lack of attention to the spirit, the energy bodies. They're the core program to the physical. The mental and emotional bodies are at 87% of the problems in physical health. The other 13% is toxicity. I've spoken about that before, about diet and what we're putting into our body. And I read something this week that said that for every cup of coffee we have, we're dehydrating our body 5 glasses of water to 1 cup of coffee. So think about that. And coffee puts mold into your system as well. So, you know, a lot of people like coffee. I have to admit, I like coffee. I allow myself a cup of coffee a week. It's a treat. But I know how to clean my body, and I'm cleaning it every day. So think about the 5 people that you've got around you, how they're affecting you. Think about your meditation. Are you meditating? Are you raising yourself up? Are you being around people that lift you up? What are you putting into your body? What are you putting on your body? All of these things are affecting your frequency, and they're either helping you to relight, reactivate all these layers so you're a bigger, brighter star in the world, or they're keeping you stuck or even lowering it. So I hope that's been useful, guys. I'd love to see more of you out there joining my Patreon channel. There's a lot of products on my website as well, books and audios and videos and programs for healing trauma, addiction, weight, mental health problems. All of these things are affected by the past, and they can all be healed and helped. But only you can pick up the gauntlet to do that. So if you want to change your reality, it's not about marching in the streets. Marching in the streets is a short-term thing. If we all go within and do our healing and change the past programming and memories that are in our system, the outside world is going to change anyway. If we heal our emotional stuff and our mental stresses and our false beliefs, the outside world is going to change. The people around you are going to change. If you're leveling up, the other thing that happens as well, which can be very difficult, is you may have people that have been in your life for a long time that start to move away from you. If that's happening, it's a good thing. The universe will create opportunities for you to move or them to move, and new people will come into your life. And it can include a grieving process, letting go of people, but that's normal as well. Don't get stuck in that. Ask the universe to guide you to new friends that are going to lift you up, help you learn all of these things. Nature's sounds got so much clearer. I can hear many more sounds at the same time. Yeah, they do. Once you get tuned in, it really makes a difference. It really does. You start to notice the animals and the way they communicate with us, and the plants look different. Everything feels different. You can be walking down the street, and years ago, you'd be thinking, God, I walk down the street and people look at the floor or they're on their phone. They don't look you in the eye. When you start to really raise your consciousness, you're walking down the street and you look people in the eye and smile, and they smile back. Even smiling at somebody is changing the universe. That's how powerful you all are. Every single one of you. Doesn't matter how big or how small you are. You're powerful. You're a piece of your Creator. So thanks for listening today. Have a fantastic 8/8 portal, and I will see you again next week. But I will be doing a live later tonight, probably on a similar subject, because I'm hoping to meet people the other side of the world that are normally sleeping when I do this one. So have a great evening, and I will see you again soon, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now. Bless you too.